Good morning, friends. It's Nancy, and I have a flip through of this journal, Mrs. Beeton's All About Cookery. I believe it dates to, well, at least 1948. There was an inscription written inside the book. So it's about 8 1/8 by 5 1/4, and are we 2? Just a smidge over 2 inches for the spine. It is a hidden hollow back spine with 10 signatures. Lots and lots of genuine vintage ephemera. I'll try to point out everything as we go through. Let's get started. So this is wallpapered from a 1940s wallpaper book that I got earlier this year. The original title page. Here, this is some feedsack fabric with a little bit of crocheted lace on there, a little vintage rickrack, and this is a newspaper clipping from who knows when to make mock cherry pie by using raisins and cranberries. This is a page from the original cookbook. And I fussy cut this plate from a catalog of China. Oh, I should point out that you could stick something in there. This is from an engagement calendar. These colors scream 1940s to me. This is a tax bill from 1945. This paper came from an old autograph book. Here I have a recipe that was in a cookbook. This is for spiced tomato juice and spiced tomato juice. And I've pinned it to this index card, J for juice, with an old paper clip. And it just goes right into this pocket. This little birthday card has some writing space here. And I got a double layer of lace there. Original book page. This is original book page from the advertisements that were at the front and back. I fussy cut this rose from a vintage greeting card. This is some antique lace in the back. Here I have a fussy cut from an old magazine and a little newspaper trimming for cherry cream sponge cake, which was made with swan's down flour. I got a book recently, a scrapbook that had a record of a bride's showers, and this little handmade note has like little images that were hand cut and then glued. It looks like they colored them with little crayons too. It says, "May your life be as colorful as your kitchen." Helen Sengebush. So I've just attached it there to an original page. This is some old writing paper. This came from an old autograph album. And again, we have another plate here that can be used as a tuck spot. This is some old writing paper, a little bit of lace cut from doily. This is some vintage fabric, and again I fussy cut that rose from a vintage green card. That opens. Original book page. Original book page. This is a little doily. I stitched a vintage button on, and this came from an old cookbook, and this is a recipe for applesauce cake, and I just cross-stitched some vintage fabric to the top of that. This little fussy cut came from a very old cookbook, antique. Book page. This is an envelope. I'm not sure if the camera's going to show this up or not, but it has sort of this plaid woven look to it. It's kind of cute. I just opened it up so it can be used for journaling. This is from 1939. Autograph book paper. This is just a fabric ruffle. Oh, I was trying to peel that off, but it's supposed to be there. Okay. In this belly band is a recipe for crisp drop cookies. So there's the recipe, and then these are the variations, and I've used this brad so that you can flip them back and forth and use the back as journaling space. And then I have this other card. It unfolds, has these peaches printed on it. Lots of journaling space. This little recipe booklet is vintage, and I attached these slips of paper for journaling, but you can flip them up, and these ones can be flipped down. Original book page. Original book page. This is a vintage can label for fish, canned fish. This is an antique lace crossed here, and a yo-yo, a vintage fabric yo-yo that I have in my collection. This is an invoice or a sales slip from a bakery from the 1940s. Here's another little shower card from that scrapbook. You can tuck something behind it, but it also opens right up. Book page, writing paper. This has a page from a flower book, little garden flowers, something like that. This is from an old quilt that I got a couple months ago. It was October, and I had made mittens, and I thought, you know what, a mitten can also be an oven mitt. So this is from an old magazine. This recipe, I cut this oven mitt and stitched it with blanket stitching, little notelet post-it note that has a little lady on it just to let you know what's cooking. And then this recipe was cut from an old can of Eagle brand. Some antique lace on the edge. This Eaton's envelope came from the 1940s. It was in with the 1940 wallpaper book. And inside, I have this tag. Has a little photo of a little girl. This is some wallpaper, a little bit of vintage lace. So I've just got that tucked in there. And then that flips open. A vintage or original book page. This is a little booklet about aluminum cookware. Just a very interesting piece of ephemera. Original book page, and this was about aluminum ware. And an old paperclip. This is a hanky. I stitched it to some paper to make a flip out and a pocket. So in the scrapbook from the bride's showers that had all the little cards and notes and things was this postcard, and it says first night of married life. So this is somewhere in New York. It says Corning 2019 is the phone number, so I'm wondering if 1 mile west Painted Post. I'm wondering if that's near Corning, New York. Not sure, but it has these tiny little cottages. And it goes right in there. This is some hand crocheted trim. This was in a cookbook. It has a recipe on the back for wedding cake, but it has a little recipe here about what talks about washing up and kettle filling and household and yeah, something householdy. A calendar page from September 1943. Little piece of paper. This is letterhead from New York State Colleges of Agriculture and Home Economics. Don't know how old it is. More pink paper. There's the other side of that calendar page. Here's a little recipe that was in the book. Piece of paper that was trimmed and stuck in there. It says neighbor's recipe, pumpkin pie without eggs. Here, this is a piece of fabric that had teacups printed on it. So I made a pocket, added some lace across the top. And here's another tag that I made with a little girl. There's Pa getting in the car, I guess. Some vintage wallpaper in the back. And just tuck that right in there. Original book page. Original book page. I made this little paper clip from a package of sewing needles, and I glued this old label to some lined paper for journaling. Just slide it in there. This is the back of an envelope. This is a doily that I've stitched down. Here I added this tag that I made in a video. The video will have been published on Tuesday the 4th. So I've used old quilt scraps and stitched it down to this inventory tag. Something different, colorful. A little bit of paper from the autograph book, original book page. This is from the garden flower book, and it's glued to original book page. Oh, this seems to have, I'll have to do a little repair job here. Autograph book, original book page, and some tea-stained lined paper. This is the outside of that envelope, and it was dated 1939, I think. Original book page, original book page. This is a letter. I don't know what the date of the letter was, but I had this old cucumber seed envelope. I added this original Canadian National Express tag, and I just slid that over top of there. Autograph book page. This is a page from the garden flower book. And I just thought these were all really pretty together. Book page. And then there's some more tea-dyed paper. This is a vintage cigarette card, and I've hinged it on there so that you can read the back. And inside is a... Don't tell me you've glued yourself in there. Oh, it was fine. There was a slightly glued in, but there's no damage. So this is a receipt from a nursery, 1942, and I glued some paper in there for journaling and to sort of stabilize this a bit more. This can be a tuck spot, or it can go inside the bag. Original book page. This is part of instructions from a pattern for an apron. Lots of blank space on the back for journaling. And I made this little tuck spot with a collage of different things. Papers and lace and a millinery flower. This is letterhead from a shoe manufacturer. This is from that little scrapbook from the bride, and it says belated wedding gift. A Hallmark card. Copyright 1939 or 37. So it's to Dick and Dorothy on their first anniversary. So it's a belated wedding gift, all right. And it can open right up. This can also be a tuck spot. Book page, paper there. Another little tuck spot there. I tied some antique lace on this paper clip, and that flips up, that flips out, and the same on the other side. So this is from a hospital bill for a baby, and then this is the receipt for the payment of the hospital bill. Original book page. This came from the cover of an almanac, and here I've made this little pocket. This is from a vintage magazine that flips out so you can do some writing there. This is vintage wallpaper, and this is fussy cut from the same magazine. This is the salad. This is I made this in some video, and so it has, I made this into a little envelope, and inside I have this original ginger ale label that I glued to some paper just to preserve it and give some journaling space. And oh, let's have the green up. We like green. Here's an anniversary card. It was from the scrapbook, original book page, and then this was from the church where that bride was married, and it says, "Congratulations to Miss Dorothy Martin and Richard S. DeSemo, married in this church at 3 o'clock Thursday." So this is just a notice from the church. Book page. This is an anniversary card for that bride. This is the page from, or the back cover of that almanac. And here I have this, it's an envelope. You can tuck something in there. But I also have lace, paper, embossed piano paper, and this is from an old 1870s ladies magazine. Oop. There we go. Book page. This I cut from a vintage apron and stitched it down here for a pocket. This is a vintage birthday card. The red and the green and the polka dots really said 1940s to me. Mary, Dorothy, and Rocky. I like this yarn here. Okay, this was in that scrapbook from this restaurant, and it had distances to these cities in Pennsylvania and New York. Oh, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all kinds of places. So I just attached it to this. Well, this is a modern guest check, but it's pink. So I've pinned that on there. This flips open for some journaling on the back. Original book page, and I've attached this envelope. This is from 1939. You can tuck something in there. This is a vintage birthday card, so it can also be a pocket, and not a birthday card, get well card. And on the back, I've stitched this antique lace and popped these little tags that I made from that book of China. I've inked them and covered them in paper on the back, and they just stack up. And there we are at the back. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that this was 1940s wallpaper. Can you imagine having your kitchen covered in that? So that's Mrs. Beeton's All About Cookery. I hope you thought this was a fun project, an interesting flip through. I will be listing this in my Etsy shop immediately. And good news, the tariffs on Canadian items imported is on hold for 30 days. Hopefully we can get past this whole tariff thing. Yeah, so I feel safe about sending this abroad. And yeah, so let me know what you think of this journal. Take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.